going on, everybody? Welcome to the Brown House Experience. You are watching Pat TV on Can TV Channel 21. I am your host, Donnell Brown. This is my beautiful co-host here, Tia Brown, and we are TBHE. Can't forget the other half of our team in the back, and Nicole Scott and Trey Brown holding it down on the ones and twos, handling the calls. If at any time you would like to catch us online, you can go to www.cantv.org/hotline. And if you want to call in, any questions that you may have, go ahead and do so at 312-738-1060. That number is on the bottom of the screen. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. We have a beautiful show lined up for you guys today, show number 2. We have a beautiful guest, one of my favorite, that I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Tia Brown so she can go ahead and introduce.
Thank you all for joining us on our second show. Today is Motivational Monday.
That's
and
right.
It's actually a throwback edition. We're highlighting our 80s, 90s costume karaoke and trivia event we have coming up this Saturday from 7 to 11. If you want more information about it, go to www.thebrownhouseexperience.com. Today we have Serita Love, founder of Success Junkie, in the studio with us to share how she motivates people through personal branding. So, and we also wanted to start the show off today with the Brilliant Brown Beauties, because this Thursday we start our 5th 10-week session of our free after-school program, Brilliant Brown Beauties, this Thursday. Yay!
All right. BBB.
So we wanted to highlight them at the beginning of the show. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to call us at 312-738-1060. We also have a throwback Jeopardy game coming up a little bit later.
Oh, this should be fun here.
Today is an exciting show. Tune in. So first, I want to call up to the stage Serita Love. She is my cousin and also a very successful individual that has done everything needed to be done to become who she is. So, welcome, Serita Love.
Hey. Good job.
Good evening. So happy to be here with you guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Let's go.
First, I want you to tell us a little bit about Success Junkie.
Yes.
What does it mean to be a Success Junkie?
All right. So a success junkie is just an ambitious individual who's hooked on helping others succeed. Short and sweet.
I love the short and sweet. I love the short and sweet.
And since this is 80s, 90s trivia, we remember as 80s and 90s babies, many of us, that junkie wasn't a positive thing. So I've taken that negative connotation and made it positive.
That's dope.
Queen of the segue right there, I'm telling
you. Now, how did you become such a successful leader in the communities?
You know what? Being fueled by adversity. I think I've encountered so many of the worst case scenarios that I think I'm fueled by it. Like you put fuel in a tank and it keeps the car going. I guess for me it's negativity somehow, some way. So being able to, I've been that way since I was a little girl. On 7302 Southwood in Chicago, I used to be under my porch when there were shootings and, crimes and drug use. I would be under the porch with my peers telling them there is so much more to life than this. So it started very early on in my life in the 90s.
Right. Now, I want you to explain how you use personal branding to motivate and inspire others.
Oh my gosh. So I had scribbled something that I wanted to say about personal branding down, and I want to get it exactly right. Personal branding is the text that you add to communicating your worth. Personal branding is tied to value. When people say your name, when people think of you or your brand, when people think of the Brown House Experience, if I were to survey 10 people, the common denominator of what they should tell me about you, the individual, or you, your brand, or anything tied to you should be synonymous. And if that's not the case, then you need to talk to me because personal branding is communicating your value. That's how you get the job. That's how you get a husband or wife. That's how you get leveled up in your career or any aspects of what you define as achievement to be.
Well, thank you
Awesome,
very much,
awesome.
Sarita. You put that all in a little nutshell.
And I'm very loquacious, so for me to put things in little sound bites like this is like, whoa, I can
Yes.
say a few things.
Well, that leads us right into our Jeopardy game, our 80s, 90s throwback Jeopardy game, which will
get into
begin
it.
now.
Let's get into it.
Let's
We
go.
have our host, Donnell Brown, and we have two contestants, Serita Love and Nicole Scott, our very own. So I'll exit to the left.
See ya.
All right. Come on up, Nicole.
All right.
You can come in the middle. Yeah, here we go. All right, so we're about to start our Jeopardy game. I'm your version of Alex Trebek. You know, you gotta kind of excuse me a little bit if I act a little silly, but we are ourselves on the show, and this is what we do to come and have fun. This is something that you guys are tuning into right now, that we're gonna go off the script for our 80s, 90s theme, and we're gonna have some fun right now, so bear with us. If you've tuned in, let's go. So please answer these questions if you can too, as well. All right, so we have 3 categories that we're going to cover, and there are 3 questions per category. All 80s and 90s questions, so if you're not born in the 80s and 90s, or if you don't know anything about the 80s and 90s, pull somebody aside and ask them those questions, all right? So we're about to get into it right now. All right. All right, so let's get the buzzers. All right, so we have our buzzers that we have here.
All
I'm gonna do
right.
my best to try
I'm
to
like
see
the buzzers.
the sound, which sound comes in first. So here we go. All right. Welcome to the Brown House Jeopardy, Pat TV on Can TV. All right, so we're gonna flip a coin right now to see exactly who goes first. All right,
All right.
and it'll be
Heads. I'm gonna go for heads.
heads or tails. Let's see, we don't have a
She
coin.
went already. We ain't gotta go.
So,
Well, you get to. Oh, you get to pick me. That would be
no,
biased.
here we go. We're gonna do this.
All right.
All right, we're gonna pick a number between 1 and 10.
Awesome. 2.
Okay, I got it. 7.
That was absolutely
All right.
Seven, so
Mathematician.
must be a great thing going on right now. We're gonna ask you the first question, so you can go ahead and pick, Nicole, from our categories. And those categories are 80s, 90s TV shows. We have 80s versus 90s, where these questions are actually designed where you can choose whether the answer is either in the 80s or in the 90s.
Okay.
And then we have our 80s, 90s sing-along, where I'm going to sing you the first lyrics to a song, and you have to go ahead and pick it up where I left off. All right, so let's go ahead and have some fun right now.
All right.
Okay, so I am going to pick 80s, 90s sing-along for 300.
All right, 80s, 90s sing-along for 300. Here we go. All right. Make it larger a little bit. Can you zoom in?
Okay. There we go.
All right. The hit song by Mary J. Blige and Method Man. All right.
Wait, we're having some technical difficulties. I don't think that was the right move.
Just bear with us. All right. The hit song by Mary J. Blige and Method Man, You're All I Need. It topped the charts in 1995. All right, finish these lyrics here. Like sweet morning dew, I took one look at you, and it was plain to see you were my destiny.
Oh my God. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Can we say it?
You were my destiny. And something in my life.
Serena, you
I
wanna take a try?
sacrificed for you.
Yes, I was ready for you.
No,
So
no.
let's pull up the lyrics right now and see what we have.
That's all.
All right.
I messed it all the way up.
No, that's all right. That's why these are great questions that we have. So, with you, I'll spend my time. I'll dedicate my life.
I'll
sacrifice for you. Dedicate my life to you. All right.
All right. Oh, I should
If
pick
you should know
100.
Method Man. lyrics right now coming in. Every guy
That's like 20
has
years
to know
ago,
Method Man's
so.
lyrics coming in. So if you're at home right now, you're probably singing along with us. We're going to go ahead into the next question here. That'll be for Serita.
Oh, I was ready to. Let's go 80s, 90s TV shows for 300.
Okay, 80s, 90s TV shows. Here we go. Actor James Avery played a key role on the television show The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Who is this character?
Who is Uncle Phil?
Absolutely, that is correct. That is correct. So we have our first
I'm
points on the
mad.
board right now from Serita. All right.
I went for it, didn't I?
So we got our first points right now on the board with Serita. Go ahead and choose the next one.
80s, 90s sing along for 200.
All right, so we got 80s, 90s sing along for 200. Be ready to hit your button. All right, complete the lyrics. In West Philadelphia, born and raised, on the playground is where I spent most of my days.
Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, and I'm shooting some b-ball outside of the school when a couple of guys, they were up to no good, started making trouble in my neighborhood.
Hey,
One little fight,
and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your
auntie and uncle in Bel-Air." Good job, good
Hey,
job.
go there, go
I am not liking this. You're winning.
Fresh Prince Salad.
Oh, yeah.
Right, who don't
Everybody
know
has to
that one? I should have
right
picked that
there,
one.
right there. All right, let's go ahead to the next question right here. Go ahead, Serita.
Oh, do it. Oh, no. One moment.
So, here we go.
80s versus 90s, 300.
So 80s versus 90s. You want the hard questions. All
Yeah.
right, here we go. Here we go. Ice Cube was a member of the famous rap group NWA, which had a nasty fallout resulting in him going solo in his career. Was this in the 80s or the 90s?
Can I do that? Can I
Go ahead, Nicole.
The
that's you.
90s, of course, right?
That is correct. It was actually
Finally got on the
1990.
board.
1990 when he came out with the
thought I
album
was part of the
America's
group.
Most Wanted. The split happened in 1989 in December, but it wasn't official until 1990 when he came out with the diss track, No Vaseline on America's Most Wanted. All right, so we have 2-1 right now in the point total, but we'll add them up. Tia Brown is going to add them up in a minute. So our next question is, Nicole. We'll start with Nicole.
I will go with, let's do 80s, 90s TV shows for 200.
Okay, 80s, 90s TV show. Here we go. Be ready for this. The term whippersnapper was used by which character on the hit TV show Martin? It's Nicole. Take a crack at it.
His name is on, yeah. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Let me see.
Not
Wanna
go
take
ahead,
that
go ahead. I know it. I can see
I'm not
him.
good with Martin. I lose on this one, guys.
Young boy going
Okay.
down today.
So,
Boy, what is
right.
his name?
The person who used the term whippersnapper was actually the security guard, Otis.
Yes, Otis.
Friends are gonna kill
Young
me.
whippersnappers.
How did I not know his
You know,
name?
So, yeah, you gotta know that, baby. You gotta pull your 80s, 90s
my
cards.
God.
What's going on?
Oh my God,
around
I
here?
should've
No, you
studied.
Y'all doing excellent right now. So stay with us. Hopefully you guys at home are getting the answers to these questions right. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, so I'll go ahead and choose since there was no winner. We'll go 80s, 90s TV shows for 100. And this is, what was the last name of the family on the 90s TV show Family Matters?
I'm like, why did we phrase
Serita?
it like that?
Right.
What is the Winslow?
Winslow.
Yeah.
That is correct. Carl Winslow.
I was like, WWW. Can we do that?
Right.
Steve Urkel status, huh? All right, let's go. Sarita, jump into the next question.
Okay.
Finishing up here.
I like to sing 80s, 90s sing along for
All right,
100.
80s, 90s sing along. Here we go, here we go. This dance was created in 1994 and was named after a popular candy. What is it called?
Butterfly, that's old. Let me see that Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll, that's it right there. Popular candy. You know, I used to hate getting these in my what is that? The bags that we used to get for trick or treating.
Yep, I know about Halloween.
Like
Hated getting the Tootsie Rolls.
I love 'em.
Man,
I put
it's hard.
in
All right, so let's go ahead and get into we got a caller that wants to call in. So we're going to head and take that caller right now. Caller, go ahead.
Well, hey, good evening. This is Auntie Paula. How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm a #1 fan of Can TV. You guys are the best, funniest, inspirational show I have seen.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Wow. We have to
Thank
clap it up for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very much.
Winslow, I had the Mary J. Blige. You guys are absolutely
There you go. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you
I swear
for
to
playing
God,
along.
You can see the Lord right through you. Inspiration. Please come back again next week, and I'll be able to talk to you a little bit more.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, thank you.
Definitely
Thank
be
you.
here. Thank you
Where
for
my
calling
prize
in.
at? I have Winslow. Where my prize at?
Oh, go ahead to our website and we'll make sure that we take care of you and everything. Everybody just playing along with us, man. Hey, we got to hook you up with something. All right, so let's finish these questions up right now. Thank you for
Thank you.
calling in. So Serita won the last one. Let's go ahead and choose.
80s versus 90s for 200,
For
please.
200. All right, here we go. Carl Kanai and Cross Colors Clothing were founded in the same year. Was this during the 80s and 90s?
80s.
Nicole?
80s.
Yes, this is correct. It was 1989.
I will all my stuff
1989
backwards.
They came out with
You know, it's
these.
the way backwards.
Hey, y'all doing pretty good on this show right now, man. 80s, 90s party for this weekend should be even 10 times better. So make sure you check all of that out. All right. So let's finish up with these questions right now so we can go ahead and get to our next section. We'll go ahead with 80s, 90s, 80s versus 90s for 100. All right, the Nike Air Force One was already a classic, but gained more popularity when it was used in the song by Nelly and the Saint Lunatics.
Sure was. I
Were
didn't.
these
it didn't make
shoes
it
in the
up.
80s or the 90s?
Was the shoes?
The 80s and the 90s.
The 90s.
That is incorrect. It is 80s. The Air Force One came out in 1982.
Wow.
I did not know that's about to sing the whole
Saint
song.
Lunatics threw you out there.
It did.
And our last question that we have right now is, you want to get into the Daily Double? Yeah, our final Jeopardy question here is we can ask that for Serita because she is winning in our point total right now. And you want to pull that question up? That final Jeopardy question is, what animal did Martin use on his 90s show to intimidate his friends when trying to locate his CD player?
Oh my
Now you're
God.
90s if you know this.
Nicole, you remember that?
What
I'm like, I don't remember what that thing was.
To intimidate.
How many people at home knows this answer right here?
Oh my God.
It's going through your head.
Please call in if
my
you know the
goodness.
answer, because I do not know the answer to
If
this.
you ladies don't know the answer, we're gonna have to leave that up for discussion.
Was it a puppy?
I can't say it right now, but that's incorrect. So, right, it is a Rottweiler.
I said puppy, so I
It is
should have
a
got the ding,
Rottweiler.
ding,
So,
ding
You
for
got
it.
that one? You got the answer to that question correct, man. You are a true 80s and 90s person
All
right
right,
now, so
all
that
right.
was great. I'm glad you ladies were coming up here to go ahead and
for
play the
having
game. It was fun having you ladies, so we're not about to get to our AK corner with our athletic connection section.
Right.
All right. So, last week we told you guys we wanted to present some highlights all over the city of Chicago, especially the things that's going on right now with the Van Dyke thing happening. We had a lot of CPS games that were put on hold. So what we decided to do was, instead of bringing up 5 highlights, we wanted to bring up 10 and really highlight our Chicagoland athletes because they're doing an excellent job. We singled out 21 highlights. We're going to pick the top 10 instead of the top 5. And that top 10, you can go ahead and vote on www.thebrownhouseexperience.com or www.athleticconnection.com. So let's go ahead and get into our highlights. All right, here we go. For this first highlight, we'll start with our youth. This is Bryce Joyner, quarterback for the Windy City Dolphins, to Terrell Gordon with the touchdown. Now, we do have our top 10 that is at the end of the video, but we wanted to show some highlights that were kind of honorable mention because there were so many highlights that were great. We wanted you guys to start deciding. So this is Nakari McFarland with the touchdown pass. He's a 7th grader. Here we have John Sworn from Oswego High School with the punt return. This is an excellent punt return right here. A true athlete. All right, if you guys have any highlights for next week, we'll take all of the highlights that we'll get in and we'll create a top 5 on a weekly basis. Again, these are our mid-season highlights from games 1 through 6. Now we have Tyler Turner, a quarterback from Hubbard, and this guy's a freshman, man. That was his second play from scrimmage. Here we have Jacoby Snipes, a running back from Clemente, with an 80-yard run here. These kids are doing this every single weekend. You might want to come out to a game and check them out. All right. This is A.J. Harris, a quarterback. Is filling in for Tyler Turner. He's a quarterback for Hubbard now. A great run here. So this is a nice fumble return from Crane. But a touchdown, that's always a momentum changer there. Here we have Reggie Young, a defensive end out of Chicago Hope with a crushing hit. Here's my guy right here, Donald Lee, a cornerback from Crane. He's a playmaker. Donald was our best or top defensive cornerback in our Athletic Connection camp. And he's having a monster year. I wanted to shout him out. Here we have DeAndre Wilborn with a stretch and toe dragging catch on the sideline. It's going to be hard to top that. Now we're getting into our top 10 highlights, and that'll start with number 10. This is in no order. Here we have Damian Middlebrooks, a safety out of OPRF with the pick 6. It's a great play here. Another momentum changer. Here we have Travis Ousley, athlete from Westinghouse, who had a monster summer and is making a name for himself over there for the Warriors. Here's Jason Moore with a 99-yard punt return to the house. This guy is only a sophomore. Please check him out for De La Salle. Again, these highlights are in no particular order. I wanted you guys to help me out with figuring out which one is 10 all the way to 1. Here's a great throw by Trevor Land and a nice catch by wide receiver LaFabian Fain for the touchdown. Here's Brandon Smith, a running back out of Proviso West, and the big classic in the Proviso West versus Proviso East game, and where the Panthers came out on top. Outstanding run by Brandon Smith. This next play is a great catch by Everett Stubblefield III, a one-hand grab in the corner for the touchdown. He's a Willowbrook wide receiver. Here is LaDerrick Towner, running back from Westinghouse with a great juke move. That's what you call hitting the R button right there. Here's Trevor Land, the quarterback, with a hurdle. Nasty. And this is Tajim Lawson with a great run that rounds out our top highlights of this week. Again, this is posted on YouTube under Athletic Connection. We want to get our top 10 highlights. Please go in and vote. You'll be able to do that all week. We love your input. All right. And again, if you have more highlights from this week that's coming up, we'll taking your highlights all the way through Sunday. Sunday is the deadline, and Monday we'll play the top 5 highlights of this week coming up. That is our AK Corner, and we will transition into our next stage, which is our Neighbor to Know. All right. Thank you, Serita, though, for coming in, being a guest. The Success Junkie is something that we look forward to. We love you like a sister over at the Brown House. Anything that you do, we're going to participate in it. We're going to support for you. So we're also looking forward to this thing on Saturday when you're coming through and you're hosting our big Jeopardy game.
And where is that taking place again?
That is going to take place at Wood on the Whim. And all of that information you can check out on our website at www.thebrownhouseexperience.com.
Well, thanks for having me.
All right, thank you so much. This is fun,
awesome.
and you kicked my butt.
Thank you,
So
guys.
I'm happy about that.
All right. So now we'll get into our Neighbor to Know, which is I'm going to head and pass it over to my co-host Tia Brown.
Today's Neighbor to Know is Chris Shields. He is from McKendree McKendree University alum, is no stranger to the process of creating. He boasts a career where he has held titles such as artist, creative developer, and co-CEO before shifting to an author with the release of his literary debut, God's Work, Not Mine, Finding Forever. As someone who lives to radiate positive vibes, good energy, and lots of love, Chris stays inspired to create literature that can be easily digested, will be relatable, and will resonate with people from all walks of life. As a poster child for independency, Chris explains why it's so important. Ownership is key. I believe in cutting out the middleman, and besides, it feels good to see what you are capable of on your own. There is nothing like discovering your true power. The Maywood, Illinois native states, life's ups and downs made me find out who I really was down to my core. In doing so, I found I have a genuine care for people and the well-being of others. Using my God-given gift to express myself well through words, I hope a fire of motivation and inspiration is lit inside every single person who reads my literature. Thank you, Chris Shields.
Shout out to the boy Chris Shields, man. That's Maywood's own. I grew up in Maywood, so he's like a brother to me. So anything that he's doing, we're definitely in support of. So.
All right, so that brings us to the portion of our show called the Knowledge Corner.
All right.
By me. And today we're going to talk about Labor Day, which was founded after the Pullman strike in 1894, when President Cleveland was hoping to gain political allyship by honoring railroad workers. However, the story about the involvement of the black Pullman Porters in the labor movement is not always told. Pullman porters were black men who worked in the train cars, attending their mostly white passengers, performing such tasks as shining shoes, carrying bags, and janitorial services. During this period, this profession was the largest employer of blacks in the nation and constituted a significant portion of the Pullman Company's force, per Theodore R. Johnson. Despite black porters being a significant part of the Pullman's workforce, they were not allowed to strike and were also denied access to the labor union. This led black railroad workers to form their own union, the Brotherhood of the Sleeping Car Porters, which was the first black union in America. A. Philip Randolph was the first president of the union, and he was also the brains behind the first March on Washington. The march ended up being called off after President Roosevelt met with Randolph and other civil rights leaders. The event was canceled because President Roosevelt signed an order barring racial discrimination in the federal defense industry. This was a major win for Randolph and other civil rights activists, as it allowed many black people to get employed in industries that they were barred from. It would not have happened if there were not for black workers fighting for equality in the workforce. And that is our Knowledge Corner.
Man,
Thank
I love
you
that
for
Knowledge Corner right
joining
there.
us. And don't forget, if you want more information about our throwback event this weekend, go to www.thebrownhouseexperience.com and check us out. Next week we'll have the Kelly Hall YMCA in the studio with us. But please check us out on our website. See you later.
Thank you.
Tune in next week, 7:30.